Welcome back, everybody, to the Nosebleeds podcast. I'm Chris Witt, and with me, as always, is Mr. Adam Schmidt. How are you today, sir?
I'm terrific. How about yourself?
I'm great.
Good.
Fantastic. Going on. Yeah. I slept pretty good last night.
Good.
2 nights in a row, slept pretty well.
What do you think it is? You getting to bed earlier? You
Getting
putting your
up earlier.
screen down early? Oh, okay.
No, getting up earlier.
Okay.
So when it's time, when like 10 o'clock, I'm out, man. I'm ready to go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
10:30. Used to be like it had to be midnight, 1 o'clock before I was asleep.
Yeah.
But yeah, just rise and shine, baby.
Yeah.
Rise and grind.
It feels so
Rise and
good.
grind.
Yeah, right. It does feel really good when you get, especially on days you don't have to. When you get up early and start getting stuff done like quickly, you're like, it's such a good feeling.
It is. It is a good feeling, but it's difficult for me to do. Like if I don't have to, there's a good
Oh,
chance
me
I'm not
too.
going to.
Me too. Yep.
I'm that's rough at that. It's rough. Like I'm a very much I will be anywhere I need to be at the exact time I need to be there. If I gotta be there somewhere at 6 a.m., I'll be there at 6 a.m. I got no problem with that. My alarm will go off. I hit snooze once. I make sure I got enough time, get up. But I am the king of, all right, I'm going to get up an hour before I need to leave, make sure I'm ready to go. Snooze, 9 minutes later. Snooze, 9 minutes later. You know what? I can take a shower in 20
Start,
minutes.
start doing the math.
Yeah, I started doing math. I'm like, I'm good. Actually, I can really take a shower in 7 minutes. I can take a 7 minute shower,
Of
not
course.
a problem. And it's like I'm good. I go and honestly, all I need to do is wash my hair. I didn't do anything yesterday. All I gotta do is wash my hair. I'm good. And I will time myself, and then I'm sprinting out of the house,
Sure.
and I'm getting wherever I need to go at the last second. But I make it there. I'm always there. I, a minute or two late, maybe, but I consider that on time, right? Pat Kelsey time. If you're not early, you're late.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's the way I roll with the getting up. But so getting up and getting the kids out, and they all have to get out early now. So everybody is at school by 7:30 now. So
Wow.
yeah, get up, make sure I'm ready to get out, and then get them and get the day going.
I don't think I've eaten breakfast uh before work. I don't think I've eaten breakfast before I left the house since like high school maybe.
Sure.
Because of that. Because
Yeah.
when I was working, it was exactly that.
Yeah.
I'd wait until the last minute,
Yep.
get up, get my shower, run out the door.
Every time. I don't know why. Just is what it just. It's what my brain does when I am in that. Because like at night, I'm like, man, this is crazy. Man. I'm turning, man. There ain't no reason I can't get up and do this, and I can do this. This is what I need to start doing. I need to be better at this. I need to do this.
Mhm.
Man, when you wake up and you're still tired, there is nothing. I'm telling you, there ain't nothing that can get me to stay awake. I can be like, I got nothing to do tomorrow, but I'm getting up at 7 a.m. I'm doing it. I got nothing to do all day. I'm getting up at 7. I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna make breakfast. I'm gonna start working out tomorrow. I'm just not crazy. Walk around the block, maybe do 15 push-ups, 15 sit-ups, right? Let's just get started,
Yep,
right? Let's just get started. Nothing crazy.
100%.
I'm doing this tomorrow. There's no reason I can't. I should be able to do this. I'm gonna put my phone in the bathroom,
I remember that.
set the alarm. I get up, hit snooze, I walk right back to bed. That does not, these people that are like, oh, once I'm up, I'm up. The heck I am. No, sir. Once I'm up, I am not up. I have no problem walking my butt right back into bed. I was never really awake. 20 seconds is not really awake. I'm sleep faster than I got up and turned that thing on and off. I'm back asleep in my bed faster than it took me to get up, walk into the bathroom, hit the snooze button, and come back. I will get up and do that 5 or 6 times
Yeah.
every 9 minutes. I will stand up, wake up, fully sleep, wake up, walk into the bathroom, hit the snooze button, walk all the way back into bed, lay back down.
Let me ask you this. God, I'm the snooze king too. Um, so have you ever been really tired? You got up, you maybe looked at the clock, but you were still disoriented enough where you thought, "Oh crap, I gotta get up. I have to get up now. It's whatever time." You get up, you start getting ready, maybe you get a shower or something, and then you're getting ready and you glance up at the clock. It's like an hour before you thought it was.
Never, that's never.
You've never done that? I've
No,
done that a couple times.
no. I will tell you this. There's a lot of times where I can't, where I wake up constantly because, like, if there's something important I got to do, I can't. I can hit that snooze button a million times, but I'm just laying there making
Yeah.
sure I don't oversleep.
Yep.
Like I'm freaking out. Like if we have a tournament somewhere and we got to be there at 7 a.m. because the game's at 8 and we got to leave at 6. Like I'm like, man, we got to leave at 6. I got to get these kids up into like I can just dress them. We always dress them before they go to bed. I got to get them to the car and be out of here by 6 a.m. Means I got to get up, get dressed, everything, blah blah blah. And I'm freaking out. It's 4:30 in the morning. I can't go back to sleep. I can't go back to sleep. Like if I've got a meeting, like if I schedule something for 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, whatever, I'm like, I can't oversleep. I can't do this. I'm like, you cannot miss this. You cannot miss this. You cannot miss this.
Yep.
And I freak out about it. But a regular old day,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Same way. I'm the same way.
I'm good.
Yeah. Okay, Chris, you sent me a few days ago,
No.
4 or 5, 6 days ago.
Yeah, I
What?
did. I did 4, 5, 6 days ago. I sent you something and I want to talk about it. However, I want to kick this thing off with you've got something because this is something where you want an opinion.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
want the opinion of the fans to comment back in,
Please.
as well.
Yeah.
Adam, tell me the situation you got yourself stuck in. Maybe not stuck in, but found yourself in. And let's talk through what you did, maybe what we think you should have done, that kind of thing.
Okay.
I have not heard the story yet. I'm very interested.
Right. So I'm on a walk. Beautiful weather all week in Cincinnati. Right.
I forgot this is a walking story with Cracker Thug, isn't it? Let's
Sure
go. Hit the music. Hit the music, producer.
Yeah.
Walking with Cracker Thug.
So here it is. I'm walking, right?
Mhm.
That's where we'll start.
I like it.
So I'm walking. I'm coming back home.
So, real quick, just to preface, you're walking.
This is when I'm out for a walk.
Yeah.
Okay. So I take my walk. I'm heading back home. I am across the street from a church. Okay, it's St. Martin's Church.
Love it.
And I'm getting ready to cross over to the side the church is on because I'm going to go down the street on the side of the church.
I know exactly where you're at.
That takes me to my street.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm pretty close to home. As I'm standing there at the light, waiting for the light to change so I can cross, there's a group of 3 young ladies that are on the other side already, walking in front of the church.
Okay.
And as I'm waiting, they are coming to that corner and then turning onto the same street to go the same direction. Right? And first of all, anytime that happens, it's like my worst nightmare, especially like if I come around a corner and there's a building right on the corner and I can't see around, and then I go around and somebody else just suddenly comes from the other way, and now we're like it's the most uncomfortable
Same
thing.
speed, walking, everything's weird.
Yes.
Yes.
And
totally,
speed comes into this a little bit too. So as I look up, I see them, and I notice
Did they see you? This is key.
I don't
because I got an idea where this is going.
Okay.
And I think did they see you stopped or did they see you walking?
I would say I don't know if they saw me beforehand. They were
okay. Good.
These girls are probably I'm so bad at figuring out people's ages, but I'm gonna guess like somewhere between like 13 and 15.
Perfect.
Okay. So they might be. I imagine they're in their own little world. So I'm not sure if they see me or not.
Mm-hmm.
So as they're getting to the corner, one of the girls kind of cuts the corner, goes into the front lawn of the church, picks up 2 of the yard signs, is folding them up, sticking them under her arm. All right. And I see this happening like right before that happens. And then I get the walk light and they turn the corner and I'm crossing. Right.
Okay.
So they might be 50 feet in front of me to start going down the street.
Okay.
But I watched this girl do that. Now, I don't know what was going on in this girl's mind, but I think what was on the signs is significant because there were other yard signs that she did not pick up. There were two of the exact same sign that said choose life.
Oh,
This is a pro-life. This was a
okay.
Catholic church.
Yep.
It's pro-life. That's
Absolutely.
what the sign said.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
imagine, all right, shouldn't speculate probably, but I imagine the young lady at the age that she may be
Is
in
pro-choice.
2025 is maybe a pro-choice. A lot of ladies are, right? So, um, so I noticed that, and it what the sign says doesn't matter to me. The fact that she took took property out of the ground in front of the church bothered me.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so
You are so old.
I am so old. This is 100%. So, but I'm so what's going through my mind as I'm walking behind these ladies, and I think I walk faster than the average person, I would say. There are other
Okay.
people that
Yeah.
like my dad walks faster than I do. I
Mhm.
walk faster than I feel like a lot of people do. These girls were out for a leisurely walk.
They strolling.
Yeah. So, and I'm walking faster than them anyway, probably. So, I'm like gaining on them, which sounds bad to say. But I'm not trying to catch them. I'm just walking and they're walking. But I keep
You're
an
boiling. You're
I'm
boiling.
not boiling. I'm just like going through a
Irritated.
lot of things in my mind.
Okay.
One of the things is I'm an adult. I saw what happened. I feel like they shouldn't like kind of who cares, right? But also I feel like there should be something where they learn some lesson like don't just take stuff out of people's yards because
Yeah,
you don't agree with
somebody
it.
need yeah, so you feel like there should be a consequence
There's
for their actions. They
I
got caught.
I feel like there should be a consequence for stealing out of a church's yard, right? Stealing from a church. Um, so I'm going through all the things in my head. Do I say something? Right? Now, I'm assessing, okay, I'm a 43-year-old man, these are 14-year-old girls or whatever. I'm coming on, I'm walking behind them, getting closer, automatically without any stealing or anything. You in that case almost always just immediately cross the street to get away from people just because I don't want, number
Hmm.
one, I don't want to have that thing where we have, even if I'm walking faster, we're
Yeah, you got
walking
like a
next to
good
each
10
other.
yards right with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But also, especially if it's like a woman by herself, I'll definitely cross the street because I just, you just hear all the stories and you're like, all
You
right,
don't want to make them feel awkward.
I don't want to make them feel uncomfortable. So, um, but I'm still like, do I say something? And I'm like kind of close to saying something a few times, and I'm like, but then do their, I've seen all the same internet videos everybody else has. Do their phones come out? Do they run and scream for help? Because then they can just say that I was coming after them or
Hmm.
something. Um, and for a second I thought, do I get my phone out and like not record them, but just like take a picture so that I can call the police and have a description, right? Right?
Yep.
And I'm like, well, of course, don't take a picture of these little girls from behind them, right?
He called
Don't
the
do that.
police. Excuse me, sir. They stole a $3 sign in the front yard. I
Well, okay.
it's the principle of the fact. I get it.
It's the principle, and it's funny that you're laughing about that. Because I'm like, do I say something? Do I just go up and say, I'll take those signs and then go put them back? Try to make it like not a big thing,
Yeah.
but make sure they know. Or do I say, hey, I saw what you did. That's not okay. Don't do that. I'm not gonna like yell and scream at anybody, but um, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what I do because I feel like they need to know that's not okay. It just feels like we're like there's so much that you see, especially on the internet, but sometimes in society where you're like just everything's falling apart. Like
Yeah.
this is getting really bad. There's too much of this craziness going, and you're like, especially in my neighborhood, I'm like, don't keep declining, right?
Yeah.
So
Sure.
So I'm going through all this as I'm behind them, and then as I'm getting closer to them, they join hands. They join hands, and I could tell they are um, now aware, definitely aware of me, right? and because I think they, one or two of them glanced back a couple times. So then I'm like, then I cross the street, all right, because I'm getting close enough where I'm going to
Yeah.
pass them anyway. So I cross the street, still thinking about if I should say something. And then as I'm crossing the street, they look back and notice that, and they were saying something like, "Oh, well, never mind," or something like that. I don't. They were definitely aware of me being there, right, and behind them. So I don't know. I think they were saying something, but they were like, young. They were like teenage kids, like trying to also make each other laugh and
Yeah.
impress each other and stuff.
Yeah. So they could have not said a single word about you at all, just be talking to themselves.
Well, but yeah, I mean maybe, but it did feel like they were saying something specifically about me. Um, but so I'm just the whole time I'm like, man, I something should happen here. Like something should happen that they don't just get to steal from a church and just go and just get away with it, you know? And also the whole time I'm like, I mean, who cares really, right? The whole time I'm also going like this is wrong. It should be corrected. Am I the person to do it? Probably not. But do I just say something and then it just makes them think about it and I go away and that's it? Or do I call somebody? Do I call the church? Do I call the police? What do I do? Because I was like, it feels wrong that they just do that and think it's fine.
Yeah.
So the whole time, so I'm walking all the way down and then up the street. They stop for a minute, like on this corner. But then as I start getting further away, I look back and they're walking up the same street that I am still. So I get up to my street and I turn onto my street. I'm like, gosh, and you think about all the Karen stuff and that kind of thing. That whole time I'm thinking the same, like, am I the guy who like wants to get people? Of course I don't want to get people in trouble, but also I don't know. There's just so much going through my head. Like, should I completely not care about this and act like it doesn't matter and forget about it, or is it my responsibility to say
Sure.
something to them or to tell somebody?
Yeah.
I'm so ashamed to say this, and I shouldn't be, but I'm ashamed to say that I called just the non-emergency Cheviot police number,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I felt so stupid doing it the whole time. And I get the Cheviot police are like the Mayberry, like
Right.
they just might not be there,
Yeah.
it just
Duh,
you
duh,
just might
duh,
not get you just might not get an answer.
You just
Like
get the answer machine.
the police are just off
Yeah.
sometimes, like right?
Get an answer machine.
Yeah.
Listen, listen. Barney called off. So Suzanne, who answers the phones, she had to go get in a patrol car and take care of business for the day.
Yeah. So Sarah's the operator in Mayberry.
Okay.
Um.
Sorry.
Anyway, that's all right. Don't let it happen again. I I call and I get a Cheviot police don't answer. So it says in the recording, it's like if you want to talk to an officer, press this 15-digit number because we don't really want you to. So anyway, I do that and I think I get Hamilton County or something.
Okay.
And so I'm like, I was like, this is probably a dumb thing or it's probably no big deal, but I did just see this group of girls take some yard signs out of a church's yard or whatever and crumble them up. And I said, I don't even know if like this is worth calling about. And so, and she asked me a couple questions. Well, do you have a description what they look like? And so,
I don't know, 13 to 15-year-old girls.
yeah, or 40. I don't know how to like tell how old anybody is. So, but no, so yeah, that's what I say. I said maybe like young teen age and girls and the one girl. And I remembered like kind of what two of them were wearing, but not at all what the one that actually took the signs was wearing. So so I'm like, I can't really remember, maybe like a white shirt or something, but I'm not positive. And I told her where they were and which direction they were going. And and she's like, okay, all right. And I'm like, okay. Bye. So, and then after I get off the call, I start thinking about all these things I should have told her about the descriptions, and it's like some of the like what they look like starts coming back to me after the phone call.
Did you call back?
No,
Okay.
I didn't. I'll be honest, as
Thought
embarrassing
about it.
as it is, I
Thought
thought
about it.
about it.
I
I'm like, I have
well,
actual good information now. I wasn't apparently was not ready
I
for
was
that call.
not clear-headed when
Yeah.
I made this
I
call.
was
I
embarrassed
was
enough
still in
about
shock.
calling.
I was still in shock that I just witnessed a crime
Yeah. In my own
in
neighborhood.
my own neighborhood of Westwood.
Yeah. Yeah. Right on the border of Cheviot and Westwood.
I saw a crime. You did?
And
So did everybody driving down the street.
listen, yard sign stealing leads to murder. It leads to all kinds of bad things. So anyway, that's what I chose to do.
Okay.
It's still weird. I'm still like not even sure what I should have done. I don't know. It's kind of embarrassing to
This
say
went a
that I
different
called the police about that.
this went a different way than I thought it was going.
Yeah.
All my questions from the beginning mean nothing.
Okay. All right. Do you have any questions now? Because that's about all there is to it. And I
Okay.
was like, I don't know.
So so the idea is what would I have done in the situation?
Yeah.
Uh
I have a feeling since you laughed about calling the police a few times,
no.
you would have driven,
I
you
would
would have walked away.
yeah,
Like,
I mean, I would
you
not
would
have
laughed.
no, I would not have called the police.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done that. It's just because it's a pro-life yard sign. There's
That's
they
the other thing. Like, I felt like if I can't remember. I don't think I told her what the sign said, but like
you
in
felt
my
like you were
mind,
more of a Karen if you would have told her what the
yes,
sign said.
in my mind, I
Yeah.
didn't want her to think like I was reporting this because it said, and
Right.
like I'm
Because if
pro-lifer.
anybody is non-political, it's you.
Yeah, I want to stay gray area on everything in life.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
I'm all about choosing. I'm all about the choice of choosing whether or not choice of life is. I'm trying to be as gray as possible.
yeah.
Anyway, I feel like if it were me, and I saw it happen, I almost immediately would giggle, but loud enough to where they heard me.
Mm-hmm.
Like just like kind of a little giggle, so they kind of turn around, like, "Oh shit, did that guy just see me?"
A little
You
passive
know what I mean?
aggressive. I caught you.
Yeah. And then if there's a turnaround, just kind of give them a little side eye, like, you know what I mean? And you got somebody saw you, right? You
Yeah.
got seen. Do they care? No, not even a
Probably
little
not.
bit. But maybe she would have dropped it real quick or been like, sorry or something. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you never know.
Mm-hmm.
Chances are probably not. But that is about as far as I would have went.
Mm-hmm.
It would be either that or I wouldn't have said anything at all.
Yeah.
It would have been one of the two. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I wouldn't have called the cops on that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that what you did was wrong.
I don't
Adam.
know if I went back and saw it again if I would do that either.
Sure.
But I don't know. I just wasn't sure what to do. It felt everything I was probably overthinking
Well,
everything.
I get in those situations all the time where something happens and then I start thinking and I'm like, man, I could have did this. Man, you know what? I'm actually kind of then I kind of work myself into a little bit of something. I can work myself into a little bit of something
Mhm.
all the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just never do anything about it. I just work myself up and get all huffy puffy and then stop.
Yeah.
Especially with people that say things and do things. And yeah, yeah, I get, but no, yeah, I'm not going to say I would have called the cops, but
Mhm.
I definitely would have. I like to be that little side bit of passive aggressive kind of a thing where I would just kind of giggle loud enough. Hey, I saw you there. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I wouldn't say a word. I just kind of laugh. They turn around and I just kind of give them a little shake of the head or give them a little eye.
Yeah.
And and then they're just gonna go, oh my God, oh, and they're gonna make fun of me anyway. So
Yeah, sure.
it is what it is. I don't
Yeah.
really care. You know, you're the one that stole the sign, not me.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well,
Hamburglar.
I still don't. Yeah. Yeah. Um, yes, that's what I should have done. I should have asked which gang they were affiliated with and then threw up the other gang sign.
Okay, so while we're on this, okay,
Yeah.
how about a little what would you have done?
Okay.
Okay. because I've been in many situations where sometimes people are doing stupid stuff like that's kind of irritating to me. Like if my kids were around, like if my kids are around and somebody does something really dumb or stupid, I will jump up and say something almost immediately.
Okay.
And I get a little tugged down from Aaron, like, hey, no, don't like let like this is that's getting a little too heated over there. You don't need to go jump in it. Like, well, I'm got these people need to know that there's kids around here paying attention to what's going on. They need to clean their crap up.
Right.
Is that ever a good thing? No, it's never, because if they're all heated and going crazy,
It
they're gonna
always
be
just escalates a
it,
little bit.
it
Yeah.
yeah, stupid.
Yeah.
So if I don't have my kids, I then all kinds of things go through your head, right?
Yeah.
So Xavier game, Saturday afternoon, 4 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I told you where I sit now. I'm right next to the student section. There's one row of Xavier fans in front of me, and then the next 5 rows down to the bench are all the opposing. It's reserved for the opposing team.
Yep.
So that's where the opposing team sits. You know, their fans come in and they sit right behind their own bench, up the first 5 rows. Guys in front of me, Xavier fans, and then my row Xavier fans. There's one, two, three, four, five. There's 7 seats in my row, 7 seats in the row in front. So the rent a cop comes out because I mean they put the cheering section right next to the opposing fans, right? Like,
Yeah.
God,
There's
so
gonna
annoying.
be problems.
So, one lady's chirping at this one guy, and they're chirping. I don't even know what's really even going on. All I know is the Xavier police officer, she comes up with her pink handcuffs and she pulls out her little notebook. She's talking to the lady that was there and talking to him. It seemed like everything was good. Next thing I know, he's back over there saying something to her, to the Providence lady, and I go up to go get a beer. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like what? Like they've got cops out. This is so stupid. It's stupid.
There's
It's
a there's a
dumb.
there's a Providence fan who's a lady talking to
A
a
Xavier fan.
Xavier
That's a guy.
student
Xavier
fan.
student
Yeah.
fan.
Okay.
And so I guess this Xavier student fan said something and took off up the steps to try to get out. They stop him. I'm coming back from getting a beer, and he's getting interviewed. The notebook's out right at the top of the steps now. So I get down to the bottom, back to the bottom again, and now there's like 4 county sheriffs, Hamilton County sheriffs,
Uh-oh.
keeping track of what's going on.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody all of a sudden has signs, like they've made signs on their phones now that say "Free Dylan." They start a "Free Dylan" chant. I assume the guy that got kicked out's name was Dylan.
Mm.
Okay, so he's kicked out. Adios, amigos. See you later. Now we've got 3 Hamilton County people here, and then another kid starts chirping. So they kick him out. Then a different Providence lady runs over to the cops and goes, and she's 2 rows ahead of me. And she goes, this fan behind me is doing this. We can't hear her, but she is Karen. Like, she's like, people are getting kicked out. I'm getting this dude kicked out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the guy looks at her and he's like, well, we didn't hear him say anything. And the guy's like, I didn't say anything. Like, he's given the look of, what? Me? No, I didn't do anything. I'm just sitting here. And so the cop goes, we didn't see him do anything. I can't, I didn't hear or see anything. And she goes, what? And then she flips off the officer and the whole crowd. Well, that's easy. The guy looks at her and he's like, you're gone. You got to leave now.
Yeah.
She leaves.
Can't be inciting the whole place.
So dumb. So now we've got 3 people kicked out. Now somebody else is chirping from the Providence side, and the guy in front of me, who is usually a pretty good, cool dude. Like, his dad gets really riled up, like crazy riled up.
Mhm.
Like, will walk 5 rows down and start screaming at refs and screaming at the other coach. Like, he's a very entitled fan. I've been here. I've been in these seats for 30 years. I was a Xavier alum. I've been like, he tells every student section guy next to him what he did. always, he just feels very entitled. Like the way he talks to us, it's very entitled of where he's sitting and who he is, all this stuff. So he just gets up, starts screaming all the time. Well, now, so his son will usually just kind of like roll his eyes, whatever, and I'll say something to my dad, and the kid will look back and be like, "Yeah, exactly. That's yeah." Because his dad will say something sometimes, and I'm like, yeah, but it really wasn't. Like I'll be saying it to the side to my dad, and that kid will look back and kind of give me a little head nod, like, "Yeah, you're right. He's a ding dong." Well, twice this year, all of a sudden, this kid goes into full ultimate warrior mode. Like he stands up, starts pointing and screaming at a Providence fan like 3 rows down, who's right next to a Hamilton County sheriff. And the sheriff turns around, looks at him, and he keeps going. And he's just looking at him. This dude's looking at him like, what? Meanwhile, we've got kids behind us. And the best line I ever heard was the kid goes, "What's going on?" And dad goes, "Some people don't know how to be adults, son." And I turned around, I was like, that's the best thing I've ever heard in my life. It's the truth.
Yeah,
People don't know how to be adults.
it
Some
sounds
people
like
don't know how to be
a
adults.
lot of people had a problem that day.
So, but it's 4 o'clock. It's not even like a late game where everything how did this get out of hand? And so the cop walks up and looks at him, and he's just like puts his hands up in a "what are you doing" kind of fashion, and he's like, "You gotta go," and he's like, "Yo, I gotta go. Okay, fine, I'm gone. Oh, okay," and he like just leaves, like he just did something awesome. I'm like, what the hell just happened? What just happened?
He wanted a piece of the spotlight since everybody else was
I
getting thrown out.
I yes. There was a time if my son was there
Mm-hmm.
or my girls, I would have grabbed him and grabbed a hold of him, sat him down and say, "Hey man, I got kids back here, you need to chill out." Right? I would
Was
have
he like cussing and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that irritates me.
Mhm.
Be like, you look where you're at.
If you grab him and he's already in that kind
I
of a
don't care.
thing,
That no,
you
you
might be in
need
a thing now.
no, because we know each other. We've got a relationship. We talk every single game,
Yeah.
right? I don't think if I grab him, he's just gonna turn around and hit me. I don't know. If I grab him, he might be pissed for a second, but I'm gonna look at him with serious face because I never have serious. One of the things I love about myself, I'm never serious. And if I know you just a little bit, you think that I'm just a happy-go-lucky normal guy. So when I get serious face, it changes. Like shit changes when that happens. And I
Mhm.
feel like I could have done that if
Yeah.
I wanted to. He get kicked out, I don't care.
Yeah.
But if the kid, so like, should I have tried to do that earlier to calm everything down? Should I have tried to calm things down? Because there are times where I'll try to calm things. Like I can say, things are getting crazy. Hey guys, let's all chill for like just tell everybody in the crowd, guys, hey, everybody, chill for a minute. We're just watching basketball. We're not playing. They're playing. Everybody calm down. And if people yell at me, they yell at me. But most people are going to start cheering probably and say, yeah, shut up, right? Everybody shut up. I felt like I probably should have did that. But I didn't. I let everybody get kicked out. And me and dad are like, what in the is going on? The people with kids behind us ended up leaving.
Yeah. That's the kind of stuff I feel like that's why I don't care to go to like Bengals games because that kind of
Yeah.
stuff I feel like happens
Happens
there
all the
more.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I I can see if you stood up and sit and tried to like calm everybody down or whatever. I can see if you are coaching a baseball or basketball game, you could
That's
you could
different.
do that.
Oh, that's different. I'm coaching. That's not happening.
Yeah, yeah,
That ain't
yeah.
happening if I'm coaching.
I feel like in an arena like that with all these people and the cops are there anyway,
Yeah, it's just time
that's
to
up to them.
yeah, let's just let it
Yeah.
make it happen. Oh, so dumb.
For
We're
what
sitting here watching like Xavier's up by like 12 or
I was just
something.
gonna
Like
ask you that. Was
we're
it
way
like a really intense
it was
game with 2
never
players?
intense at any point in time. I mean, it never got more than like 13, but we were up by 13 from the time the second half started. It never got under 9,
Mhm.
and it was like maybe they got to 9, we went right back to 13. They never really made any headway
Mhm.
throughout the entire second half when all this started going down. And it's like, is what? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
What?
I'll tell you why, because sports fans stink.
Ugh.
They do.
I'm gonna tell you what. Sitting next to that cheering section, Me and Dad, a lot are like, ooh, not that. Don't do,
Yeah.
no, no.
Yeah.
And they're right next to the other bed. They are.
Yeah.
Woo, man. Like you see, like many times the people at the end of the bench are like the student trainers or whatever, like guys like that at the end of the bench, or like grad assistants are down at the end of the bench, a lot. So they're usually really young and they get like I've seen a couple of them look like they were going to go up into the student section. Like the student section got under their nerve a little bit too much, right? And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, man, what are you doing? And then they like it's the greatest thing in the world if you can get under their skin.
Yeah.
And to a point, I kind of get that. But what do you do? What?
Yeah.
I'm getting old too. Maybe I'm getting old too.
But you know what?
Or is it more sensible?
Maybe it's sensible, maybe it's wisdom, maybe it's maturity. Yeah, it stinks. There's the like trash talk and all that kind of stuff is just so it just continues to get bigger and bigger, and you see all the incidents that happen because of
Yeah.
that stuff on the internet.
Yeah.
So then it's bigger for everybody, and
Yeah.
everybody, is like
It's-
glorifies it like they want to be involved in something like that. I don't understand. It's one of those things. If I was there witnessing that, I probably would have just gotten depressed. Like
yeah.
sometimes
That's how I felt.
sometimes stuff like that, I just get so sick of seeing that stuff like on the internet and then once in a while in person, and I'm like, just to see people behave that way just makes me so upset that that's just like continuing to be the way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
it, I just like I lose faith in people in general. It like I just have those moments. Sometimes I'm like, okay, these people are acting stupid, whatever.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it hits me for whatever reason
A little
so
bit
bad
harder. Yeah.
that I'm like, I don't want to be here. I just want to go home and be by myself. I don't want to be around people. This like really bothers me that
Yeah.
people behave this way.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I don't know. That's probably what I would have done. Just been just been aggravated and
Irritated.
wanted to get out of there and get home. Yeah.
So dumb.
Even a 4 o'clock game, Dana Gardens opens at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, you're right there. You got that right. You got that right. And I mean, it was the last game of the year. They didn't have beer anywhere. The whole
Oh,
place was running out of beer. Nobody ordered beer because they were just trying to run out of beer.
oh, and because you
Yeah, I was
you
in
like
charge up
run the
there.
whole thing
I
up
run all the
there.
beer up top. Everybody was pissed off that was working up there because they didn't have any beer to sell, and that's how they make their money.
Hmm.
And I'm like, man, I don't know what this. I'm sorry. Go back in the back room and
Yeah,
just grab every case that's left and try to sell it.
yeah,
I was taking stuff they don't even sell at certain bars, putting them out there. I don't know. Get it out of here. Let's go. Figure out some way to make some money.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. Well, that's
anyway.
tough.
Yeah,
That's
stop.
tough.
Dude, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So I was sitting at the game and I text you. And I was like, got one here, bud. I got
I
one here.
that was my favorite. Yeah, I got a text that just said podcast story. I was like, oh, I like that. That got me all excited. And then I went and then I did my thing and I was like, oh, I gotta send
Uh,
it the same thing. Yeah. Yeah.
oh goodness.
Yeah.
There you go, bub.
Yeah. That's
That's yeah.
that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna have another story because I was gonna try to do an open mic this week.
That's
So
so that was gonna I was gonna lead that into my next one. You told me you were talking about doing something on Wednesday. Or no,
it was gonna
Tuesday.
be Tuesday. Yep.
Tuesday.
Yep. So I found information on the internet and stuff, but I was like, there was something I was a little bit not sure about. So I called up the place that was gonna have it, and this was gonna be a good like way to like softly go in to try an open mic because it's called a feedback mic where you have one joke or 1 minute like Kill Tony,
Mm-hmm.
and you say that joke and then there are comedians there that will like give you
It's
constructive
basically
feedback.
Kill Tony. It's people trying
Yeah,
to do the same
yeah,
thing he's doing.
yeah. Well, I don't think they're like keeping you up there to like make fun of you. Like
Oh, they don't?
it's no.
Oh,
I
okay.
think they just give you constructive feedback
You
on the
hope.
joke. Yeah, yeah, that's true. It could be that. Yeah, but that's the way it seemed like to me.
Sure.
So anyway, I call up there to make sure it was on, and he said, "Oh no, the guy's out of town." this week. It's canceled this week. It'll be back next week. And then I asked them about another thing they do on another night. So anyway, I find out. Oh, so then there's another one in another part up in Mount Adams that night.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, am I ready to try this? The whole time I'm like,
You
what
got four
jokes?
jokes. You got four good ones.
I get thank you. I told 8, so four of them stink, I guess.
Oh, you
But
told 8 jokes? I was just I thought you were only I didn't think you were up there that long.
so
Every one of your jokes were good.
I thank you.
However many you told, they were all good.
Thanks.
You could have used any of them.
It was like 8.5 minutes long, my set though that night. So I would have to cut probably about half of that out.
Yeah, you wouldn't do the whole thing.
Yeah.
You're not doing the whole set.
And
Yeah.
then there are other jokes that I wrote like during the class and even a few after that I'm like, I think I want to try this out and see how it does.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to figure out, okay, if I only have 5 minutes and you cannot like running the light is bad, really bad. So 5 minutes is it. And try to come in a few seconds under that.
Yeah.
So I got to figure out which jokes I want to do in those 5 minutes and stuff. So anyway, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go to this one and just watch. I'm not gonna do it, but I'm gonna go watch and see what. I don't think I've ever been to an open mic before.
I've never yeah.
So I go on the internet. It says 8 o'clock. Get there at just before 8, a couple minutes before, and not a whole lot of people in there. So I get my ginger ale. I go over to a table, sit there by myself, and um, I see the sign up there up front. Shows at 8:30. Oh, all right.
Couple ginger ales.
I'm gonna have a couple ginger ales here, and then probably have to call an Uber. And so I'm sitting there. It's like 8:40, and there are more people there now. And then a guy gets on the microphone. I'm like, oh, here we go, finally. Hey, this is so and so. I'm the host this comedy, open mic tonight. We're gonna get started 9 o'clock in about 20 minutes. I was there for an hour before the thing even started.
This feels like what every comedy anything would be like. I feel like if you're gonna try to get into comedy, you better not have any kind of
Plans,
OCD about time.
I do. So yes. But I think that's what time it actually started. I think it was just like kind of either wrong or they put it on the internet that way to make you get there because you have to sign up.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to sign up and everything. But I think you could get there at 8:30 and sign up.
Okay.
So anyway, so I end up sitting there and I watch like maybe 10 comedians go up, and it was like a dark place. You were just like they had a little tiny stage, but people were just in front of that on the floor,
Okay.
just in the bar. And so, but it was better than I thought. There were a couple people that I was like, maybe I can do this.
Yeah.
But then there were several people where I was like, ooh, man, maybe I gotta keep writing a little bit before I try this,
Well, you gotta get up on stage. You know what it is? You gotta get mic time.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I've found several more throughout the week. So, I'm going to try one.
Okay.
I'm going to. I just have to figure out which one on which day. And I think I might try to do that. Well, I committed today to coaching an AAU team, and practice starts Tuesday. So I don't think I can do the Tuesday.
Not gonna be Tuesday.
So anyway, I'll have to find. There are a couple on Monday.
Okay, Monday.
Monday. I might try that. There's actually one on Sunday that I could try. Actually.
Okay.
So,
I think Monday would be the day to do it. Where's it at?
Monday, there are a couple. There's one in OTR, and I would rather not go there if I don't have to. But it sounds like that's one that a bunch of people do. And then the other one I think is in Bellevue. I want to say
okay,
it's over the river.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a couple. There's one in Bellevue. There are a couple in Dayton, Kentucky, also right across the river, at the Commonwealth Sanctuary, which has like some fairly big comedians sometimes there.
Mm-hmm.
But then they have their own open mic stuff. So anyway, I might try one of those. Just try it out.
Yeah.
Once or twice, and then just never do it again.
Why?
Or
yeah.
if I
Why?
love it,
Why? Yeah. If you love it, then you can continue to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I love it. I'm excited. All right, that
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Let's make a date. Let's go Monday. I have pictures at 7:10. But I can head out right after pictures are done, probably like 7:30. I can be ready to go.
I'll have to see which I'll have to see what time those start. Yeah, meet me in OTR at 10:30 when that one starts. Well, that's what time we start this.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
No. And speaking of that, Mount Rushmore of Mount Rushmore of units of measure. We got to get into this because this is going to be so fun. I love this. You've said a couple times like, oh God, Mount Rushmore units of measure, but I'm telling you, this is going to be fun.
I think this might end up being not a bad one.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. Uh, this could end up being decent. It could. It's got potential. We'll say that.
Yeah.
It has potential. All right.
Units of measure.
So let's take a look here. All right. How do you want to do this? I don't have a Mount Rushmore yet.
Okay.
Just so you know, I have none. I have
But you
zero.
have your list
Oh,
that you're going
bud.
to choose from.
Oh, bud, I got a quintillion of them.
Okay. And that seems like a unit of measure that means something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Or sorry, hold on a second. Let me take that back. I have a
Yeah, there's a word for a
yeah.
quintillion. Like a hatful or
I have a
something
cow's
like
grass. I have a cow's grass full.
Yeah, that's a perfect example of a unit of measure that I saw on a bunch of lists that were hilarious.
The old mother cow index.
There are a lot of farmer-based
Oh yes.
units
Yes.
of measure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's this is a real unit of measure for alcoholic beverages. It's the equivalent to 2 hogsheads,
Yeah.
which is 126 gallons in the US, and it's a butt.
Yes, I saw that one too.
So there's a butt of alcohol. A butt of alcohol is 126 gallons.
Mhm.
That is way more than one buttocks of alcohol.
Yeah.
The old cow calf unit estimates the amount of land needed to provide food for beef cow with a calf. So you need a little. You're gonna need about 7 cow calf. How many you got? I got 7 cow. How many calf you got? 5. Well, you're gonna need about 12 cow calf.
I love when they don't make sense.
None of it makes sense. None of it makes sense. I do like that the furlong, where the furlong came from, that the furlong came from, it's 400 cubits.
Mhm.
Okay, so you always hear how many furlongs away are they, right? The horses, beat them by a furlong. So the distance between your elbow to the end of your middle finger is a cubit. Okay, that's a cubit. 400 cubits is a furlong. And that's how they measure how far horses are away from each other in a race.
Whose arm are we using?
It depends on who's there that day.
Pete Rose. He's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, but Pete Rose is definitely there. Hey, Pete, come down here. I need you to do a whole bunch of somersaults. Just keep your hand on the ground and go to the elbow and we'll count how many rolls you do.
Let me see your stubby, hairy arm.
Oh my God, there's some good ones there. Yeah, and then let's see, here's the biblical ones. Those were good. These I can't even pronounce. A core, a hin, a bath. A bath is a unit of liquid measure roughly equivalent to 9 gallons and 3 quarts. Roughly 9 gallons and 3 quarts.
There was a lot of and roughly.
How is it roughly 9 gallons and 3 quarts? That sounds pretty precise. It's not roughly 9 gallons. You could say that.
Yeah.
Roughly 10 gallons, not roughly 9 gallons and 3 quarts. There's no roughly involved in that. That's exact. A bath is 9 gallons and 3 quarts. And if you want to be honest, if you take 9 gallons, I don't think I'm filling a bathtub up.
No. No, you need a lot of baths to
A
fill
lot
a
of
bathtub up.
Yeah. Yeah. So don't tell. So if a bath is 9 gallons and 3 quarts, is a bathtub 6 bath?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that like kilometer to millimeter or something? Anyway, the hand breath is one of my favorites as well. It's the breath of the hand at the base of the fingers. Still don't even know what that means. What is the breath of the hand? It's called a hand breath. And then when it tells you what it is, it says the breath of the hand. If I don't know what a hand breath is, I probably don't know the breath of the hand either.
Yeah.
It just says at the base of the fingers. That's all it says. I guess does that go all the way to the thumb?
Huh. Oh.
Anyway, the furlong, again, Roman measure containing 400 cubits, and the cubit, of course, is the length from your forearm to your elbow. However, Allen Iverson's elbow to finger
Yeah.
is way longer than my elbow to
His
finger.
is 6 cubits compared to mine.
The dude stands straight up and can itch his calf.
He could tie his shoe without bending over. Oh man.
Jeez, Pete. So yeah,
Those are all good.
what do you got? Let's hear some of yours. Do you got a shekel or a mina or a talent?
I don't.
How many FS do you have?
I kind of have two themes to my Mount Rushmore here.
Okay.
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 One is one's death. That's one theme because the mega death is a unit of measure, a unit of atomic bomb destruction. That's what it measures. So a mega death equals 1 million deaths from the atomic bomb. Okay. That's the mega death.
This atomic bomb has got 2 mega death power.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Also, what is that? Micro. Oh shoot. Oh, micromort. Micromort. I had
Okay.
a moment where I could not read my writing. Micromort measures statistical probability of death. All right.
Okay.
So, for example, 1 micromort equals a 1 in a million chance of death. 1.4 cigarettes or 1 hour in a coal mine equals 1 micromort.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
That gives you a little
All right. Well, hold on a second here. That's 1 micro is 1 in a million.
1 in a million chance.
Okay, 1 in a million. So if let's see, if you work in a coal mine for let's call it 40 years.
Oh my God.
Oh, you're 20 till you're 60.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that too
Well,
long? Should we say
no, but you're
30?
gonna have to figure out how many hours that is.
Yeah, that's a piece of cake. 35 years. Okay.
Okay.
There are times times 52 weeks in a year.
Yeah.
All right.
40.
And then times 40 hours in a week. That's 72,800 hours.
Okay.
Now let's take a million. Oh, crap. A million divided by 72,800. And it's 13.7. What are they?
Micromorts.
Micromorts. So if you work your entire, you got your 13 point, your so what does that make it? 13 and a million?
No, yeah, it was
I
yeah,
don't know.
that's I don't know
Look,
how
see, now I just started
I don't
doing
know how to
math.
convert that.
Started doing math, and it sounded like I was doing something that made sense. None of it makes sense.
How does it change the
Yeah, the
probability?
percentage, the probability. You're 13 more microwarts times chances.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not chances of dying, because that's what the microwart is, just chances.
Yeah.
Because the microwart is chances of dying. Correct?
It's a 1 in a million chance, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. Those are my two death themed
Okay.
units of measure.
I like that.
Okay.
All right. That sounds good.
You wanna before I do my others, do you wanna
There
grab
was,
a couple?
Hold on. There was another one here. Let me go back over to this one. Yeah. So the hundredweight. Oh, that was pretty good. CWT. It's 50,800 grams. In case you were wondering, if you had 50,800 grams, that's 100 weight.
Huh.
Yeah. What do you need that number for? What's measured in 50,800 grams. What's measured in that?
You know, I feel like I saw that in my last line of work. CWT.
Yeah. So like
Man,
you've got a gigaton, a megaton, a ton, a kilogram, a gram, a milligram, microgram, nanogram, picogram, whatever. These are all just it's 0.0001. Everything's a one on it. Then you get into these crazy things where it's like a hundredweight,
mm,
a quarter is 12,700 grams, a stone,
mhm.
6,350 grams. I picked up a stone. It was not that heavy.
Yeah,
A pound is 454 grams. Did you know that a pound is 454 grams?
yeah,
I did not.
I did. I had to know that for my for my
Good
last
job. Yeah,
job.
because everything's probably in grams,
It is.
but the bags you're getting are probably in
We
pounds.
did a lot of conversion.
Yeah,
Pounds to grams.
man,
Yep.
it's a lot. Yeah. So, did you have to do the Troy pound at all?
I don't remember having
No,
to do that.
that's
No.
373 grams. Just a little bit less than a regular pound. If you're from Troy, Ohio, you weigh a little less. You're a little further north. The pound is, you're I don't even know what that is. You're 80, no, you're 79 grams less. Okay.
Okay.
It's the same kind of as a Troy ounce, except for the Troy ounce is heavier than an ounce. So why is the Troy pound less than a pound and the Troy ounce is heavier than an ounce?
Oh no, that does not make sense.
You can't do that. An ounce is 28.35 grams, and a Troy ounce is 31.103 grams. You can't do that when a pound is 454 grams and a Troy pound is 370. That doesn't make sense.
Mm-mm.
You can't go up on pound and lesser on ounces. Doesn't work that way.
No,
Sorry.
that's okay.
But if, in case you were wondering, you can also measure by the penny weight,
Anyway,
which is 1.555555555555555555 grams. No, we don't do 6. It comes out perfectly even. What are you talking about?
perfectly. It's not 5. It's not 5 repeating. It's 30 number 5s. Oh wow, man, those are all good.
So as we speak,
Yeah.
you've got 2. I need you to finish your.
Okay. My last 2, it almost feels like cheating, but they're very similar things. The first one is called the quasi hemi demi semiquaver, and that's in music. That's a 128th note. But
Call it something again. What is that called?
it's called the quasi hemi demi semiquaver. It's one word.
Hemi, semi, demi, quaver.
Hemi demi semi.
Hemi, demi, semi.
Quasi hemi demi semi.
Quasi, hemi, demi, semi, waver.
Yeah, quaver. Yeah,
Quaver. Quasi, hemi, semi, demi, quaver.
close. But here's the other thing.
And they call that a pinochle?
It's called a pinochle or a 128th note. Okay, that's one 128th of a note.
I didn't look anything up with notes.
And here you were asking me this before we started this podcast. What if I had that and I cut it in half?
Good question.
And that was a good question by you.
I would call it half a quasi, semi, demi, wemi, temi, favor, saver.
You would think that's what it was.
Flavor,
But it's
savor.
actually a demi, semi, hemi, demi. Hold on. Yeah, it's a demi, semi, hemi, demi, semi, hemi, demi, semi quaver. That's a 256th note.
How many times? Wait, hold on, real quick. How many times did you restart saying that?
Yeah, that's confusing.
Because
Like 3 times.
Okay, good. Because if that was how this thing's called,
know.
we're a hemi, demi, semi, wemi, hemi, demi. This is an Eminem song.
It's it's very good. Yeah. No, it's a demi, semi, hemi, demi, semi quaver. All one word again. That's a 256th note. Was used
That's
by
a $374 word right there.
Can
I use that in Scrabble?
You can. It was used by Beethoven and Mozart. The 256th note.
Did they call it that?
They probably invented it.
Who cares about the 256th note? I feel like there's like some songs have probably close to 2,000 notes.
Yeah.
Why are we worried about the 256th?
We're not. We're worried about one 256th of a note.
Can I tell you, I played the staccato notes and all that. What's a staccato?
Staccato is when you
But
have,
what is it?
it's
A
drink.
staccato note?
It's a drink at Starbucks. Go ahead.
Like the staccato is like brrr, like a drrr, like a quick. You gotta play something really fast. Is when it's like staccato, right? Isn't that what it means?
I guess.
I think so. Crap. Now I might be speaking wrong. All right, we need some. My point is,
I mean, you shredded the recorder before we
I
started.
did.
This
I
thing.
jumped
That
on
thing
this
was-
recorder.
Oh.
I hit Mary Had a Little Lamb like it was nobody's business.
I mean,
I messed up the last note just a hair. I just couldn't hold that. I just couldn't hold that G all the way down.
I don't know if you
That
saw
was
it.
a G, by the way. That was a G.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
G.
BAGA something. No, now that's the other thing I do.
Gab bag gab. G A B B B A G. All right.
Notorious. Notorious. BIG. Sorry.
Oh,
Talking about the
yeah.
bag, nothing. Get the bag.
Okay.
Okay.
We're going off the rails here. I forget how that all started, but
I don't know, but I'm ready to
Oh.
start playing. I'm ready to start playing some notes. I just couldn't imagine how fast you would have to. How could anybody know the difference between 256th of a note and
120.
500 and
Yeah, the first one was 1/128th.
oh
The next one was cut that in half. It's
yes,
256th.
256th.
So, yeah.
Like if I had to play something that fast, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the two because it would just be that's all it would be.
Maybe it's too fast for the human ear.
But yeah, but how did Beethoven use it? Well, he didn't have a human ear.
That's Vincent Van Gogh.
Didn't Beethoven? Wasn't he like blind?
I think
Wasn't Beethoven blind?
he was blind, but that doesn't mean
no.
you don't have an ear.
No, he was deaf. Beethoven was deaf and would put his like hand on the piano to feel the note, right? Or his ear on the floor or something weird. I swear to God, Beethoven put his ear on the floor.
He wasn't a
feel.
He wasn't a Native American.
No, I'm telling you, he was. My man was Helen Keller's uncle. He couldn't. And that's why he's so famous.
That's Beethoven Keller. That was
Beethoven Keller. Yeah, nobody ever knew his last name. He took it off because he didn't want to have anything to do with the Jews. Wait a minute, Helen Keller wasn't a Jew. Who's that?
Thinking of
Who was that? Anne Frank. That's what I was thinking of. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Helen Keller was just the one that couldn't see, hear, or taste. Right?
She couldn't do. She had 0 of the 5 senses. Yeah, she couldn't. Yeah, you could set her on fire and nothing happened.
I don't know if we're actually funny or if I'm this tired.
It's 12:30.
This is the hardest I think I've ever laughed on this podcast. I'm dead serious. We've done this for 6 years. I don't think I've ever laughed this hard.
That's because we just found out Beethoven's last name was Keller. and we found out Helen Keller is not Anne Frank.
She is not. She also can't taste.
Oh my God.
Okay, let's pull this thing back in.
Do you have a Mount Rushmore? You just read like 11 of them and that was it.
I think what is the unit of measure for taste?
There's plenty of them, I'm sure.
All right, let's go. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm going all crazy. I'm going all goof stuff.
Okay.
I want to go with a butt.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with a butt. That's on there. That's the unit of measure for alcoholic beverages equivalent to 2 hogsheads. Actually, I think I'm gonna go with the hogs. 2 hogsheads.
I did themes. You might as well
So
do
do you know what a hogshead is?
Yeah, I saw that. It was something with something in a barrel, 126, 132 gallons.
So
something
2 hogsheads is a butt,
yeah.
and a butt is 126 gallons. I'm crying.
Okay.
So a hogshead would have to be 63 butts. No, 63 gallons.
Okay. Hoghead 63.
Oh, a butt
A
is
butt is 2
126.
hogheads.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Hmm.
I don't know why they just don't call it 2 hog heads, but
Hmm.
okay. Oh, the Batman. Forgot about the Batman. This doesn't even say doesn't tell you anything about it.
Mhm.
Batman, Batman. It might be Butman because it's from Babylon.
Mm.
A unit of mass that originated in the ancient city of Babylon. That's it. That's all you got.
Okay.
That's what Batman is. Or Butman. Batman. I don't know.
How's that spelled?
Batman.
Oh,
Batman.
okay.
Slug, which is a unit of mass in the U.S. customary and British gravitational system of units.
Ooh.
A slug. Oh gosh, a millihelen. Speaking of Helen Keller, if you got a milli of her, you got a milli. That's the precise quantity of beauty required to launch one ship.
That's how many.
Wait a second, hold on.
That's how many Helen Kellers it takes to taste anything. Milla Helen.
You need a millihelen, which is 1/1000th the number of ships Helen of Troy is said to have
I
launched.
did see that.
Oh, and Troy already screwed everything up with the fact that they can't figure out if they want to be more or less
Yeah.
than ounces and pounds.
Yeah.
Oh, the cow's grass, which is the amount of land needed for one cow to used in Ireland. The way the grass grows is different. You need less in Ireland than you do anywhere else. So
Mhm.
nowhere else uses cow's grass. What do you need? How many cows you got? 7. You need about 400 cows grass. How big is that? I don't know. I don't know.
About 7 cows worth.
Go call somebody over in Ireland. Mother cow index. God, determined how many pregnant cows an acre of land. These are so good.
There's something similar
No,
called like an ox. What was it called? An
no,
ox
there's
something that was like how many acres you could farm with one ox in a
yeah,
season or something like
yeah,
that.
something.
It was ox something.
There's a lot of good. Oh, they're so silly. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do runs count?
Runs?
Yeah.
Um,
It's a
it's just,
unit of measuring score in a baseball game.
yeah, yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
Sure.
What about hits? Is that a unit of measure, or would it be more like batting average or whip?
Those are just
The it's a
uh
measurement of walks and hits per innings pitched.
yeah,
Probably not.
could be.
Yeah.
Could
I
be.
mean, this is the unit of. I mean, this is 126 gallon equivalent to 2 hogsheads. I'm gonna go with hogshead.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with butt.
Mhm.
Uh, I think I'm going to go the Firkin. Oh, this is the other thing I was looking at. Um, a fortnight,
A fortnight.
right? And do you know what a fortnight is?
That's a video game.
Oh, it's also 2 weeks.
Oh.
Uh, it's 2 weeks. However, without a doubt, my number one is a score. As we all know, Abraham Lincoln, uh, 87 years after 1976, 1776, said 4 score and 7 years ago. 1 score is 20 years. My man said 4 score and 7 years ago.
80,
Words.
80
6 words.
instead of 87
Instead of
years.
saying 87 years ago. 3, it could have cut that thing in half. My man obviously is trying to be like Donald Trump back in the day. How long can I stand up here and make these people listen to me say the craziest stuff in the world? Hey, remember back in 1422 when they said a score is 20 years? I'm using that today. 4 score and 7 years ago. So score, I'm going to use a score. I think I'm going to use a fortnight, a butt, and a hogshead.
Nice. Nice. Very good. I want some pork now.
I do.
A
Pork
a
butt,
butt and a hog
pork
set.
butt, hog head. It's all the same. Anyway,
Okay, that was even
Ooh.
funner
Oh,
than I thought it was gonna
that
be.
hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
That hurt a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, hey, you know what? I was really bummed out when I said unit of measure last week too. And you know what? Props to the fabric ruler right next to me here. This thing. This is what brought up unit of measure. Well
That's
done.
beautiful.
Well done.
That's why we look around the
That's
room.
why we look around the room.
It brought us Helen Keller jokes. Uh, there should be a unit of measure
Helen
for.
Keller could be a Jew. We don't know that she's not.
Yeah, that's true.
Her and Anne Frank might have been friends.
You know who else is a Jew?
Andy Schultz. No. Is it
Andrew.
Andrew Schultz?
Mhm.
So this is crazy. So I watched Andrew Schultz today.
Mhm.
And I've seen this dude before, right?
Yeah.
Like just randomly seen him. He's done some little comedy things that you see here and there.
He's got a podcast.
Yep.
See clips of that. Yeah.
So last night I got into a white chocolate. I don't know. You can go on, I think it's YouTube. I don't know what they're called. The little clips, like the little quick clips, that people put on. What are they called?
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
like a reel or whatever.
Yeah.
YouTube short.
Shorts. Yeah.
YouTube short. And I'm watching one, and it's Jason Williams, and it's got a little thing. You can click on it, and it's hashtag Jason J Will or Jay Williams. So I click on that, and it's just nothing but Jay Williams. And he's, by the way, I end up finding out he's got 4 stories. That's what he's got 4 stories. Tells him on every podcast he's ever been on. It's the same 4 stories, which is totally fine with me because they're awesome stories.
Mhm.
But he's on with Andrew Schultz, and I'm watching it last night, and I'm like, dude, I'm about to watch this guy tomorrow. Like it was pretty
Yep.
funny.
Yeah. You can tell
So-
Andrew Schultz is a basketball fan.
Yes,
You can
without a
tell.
doubt. Yeah, yeah.
Um. Okay. Let me. Okay. So
Like his hair better now in the special where he actually has hair all the way up and down his head than opposed to like some of the podcasts I've seen where it's like shaved a quarter of the way up
Mhm.
and then regular hair.
Yeah. That's kind of like the style, though, right now.
I
mean, it's-
guess. And when you take hair pills, it just grows back.
Yeah,
So
I never imagined he did that because I thought he always just had like really like thick, nice
there's a
hair.
reason he has thick, nice hair.
I guess so. Um, okay. Because of the clips and stuff that I've seen of his, I'm like, there's always been something about him that I'm like, I don't know if this guy's my cup
Style?
of tea.
Really?
Yeah. So I haven't really watched a lot of his stand up before this,
Okay.
just because of the things that I saw. I'm like, I don't know if I'm interested in this guy. So I kind of went into it with that, like, we'll see. But I, I was pleasantly surprised. I'll say that.
Okay.
I
good.
was. Yeah. Um,
I was gonna find a pen to write down my number before we did this because I'm
No.
just gonna put it on my phone.
right
Nope,
here.
nope, nope. I'm gonna do it on my calculator. I'm gonna put it on my calculator and
Okay.
then I'll show you when we're done.
Okay, I've got mine written down already as well. So like I think maybe part of it is like it feels like he tries to be a little too cool or something sometimes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so I think that's what I thought. And then like there were times during the special that I was like, okay, that's kind of what I don't know. There's just something he's like, I don't know. Um but he said enough as the thing went on that he said enough funny stuff and made me laugh enough that I was like, okay, I got to let go of my preconceived notions about this guy because he's being funny,
Yeah.
you know. So
And he made fun of himself pretty well.
yeah, there were a couple times in the beginning where it felt like it was going to be one of those specials that we keep talking about, but it's like I've gotten really big and this is my life now, and the it made the joke about we aren't pregnant. That's like my wife saying we make a lot of money or something
Yeah.
like that. I was like, oh, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't really go anywhere.
No,
after
it was
that,
just
I
a
thought.
quick little joke and get
Yeah.
out. It was quick in and out. He did an entire special on one story.
Pretty much.
He did an
Just
entire
about.
special on one subject, one story.
Yeah.
So yeah, he needed a few of those little in and out silly ones to, you got to have a few,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he did a pretty good job of that. I wrote down a few things. Um, a lot of them I don't want to, of course, I don't want to give away the joke, but I also don't want to explain further on this podcast.
Sure.
Wife is going to be a sock puppet, getting
So,
getting sleeved
can
up.
I tell you this? Can I tell you
Yeah.
this? I have told this story a million times. We go in to have Parker,
Mhm.
and the thing that I totally agree with him, nobody gives you fair warning about, is once they put that epidural in your wife, she can't feel her legs or anything. They spread open, close, throw things up in between, like whole hands and stuff. It's a violation that I am not supposed to watch my wife get taken down to it.
Yeah.
It's so the sock puppet thing, I was cracking up because I've told that story a million times. Like, that's no joke. I could relate. So I could relate to every single thing he said too, right?
Sure.
Totally different because my first kid, we didn't have trouble, but my first kid was, we got there and then it was a emergency C-section and all this other like stuff, like all the same stuff kind of happened.
Hmm.
So I had a lot of feeling the same kind of things as this dude. It was pretty, yeah. I thought it, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
continue.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, getting sleeved up. He said, showing up to work in a hoodie. He was talking with the guy in the front row. Um, finished the deadlift. I wrote down the the Tyrones.
He was the best. The meatball's the best, dude.
Meatball.
The meatball's the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's legit good.
Those are the best jokes of the whole thing. Was the
He's
ones that guy told.
the meatball's the best.
Yeah. So anyway, those are just a few things I jotted down, and you have to just watch it to get
Yeah.
the context and everything. But those are
We're
all
gonna be
things that I
so
thought were
far
funny.
off on this.
Think so?
Oh yeah. Because I absolutely loved this. I laughed almost the whole time.
Wow.
Like I laughed as much as this as I've laughed at any special in a long time.
Okay.
Not any special,
Wow.
but up there with some of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought this because I didn't know this dude from Adam. I didn't know, I mean, I know you pretty well, but um I thought this was way better than I was expecting.
Good.
Way better.
Okay. We might be a little off, but I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
What did anything else strike you, or are you
I didn't write anything down. I can't remember. I mean, I could pretty much
you
just
already
go
talked
through,
about?
like, I mean, almost every one of the jokes were phenomenal. Not phenomenal. I'm sorry. It was one long story that had many little jokes inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I don't know. There's plenty. There's
He
plenty, but like you said, there's a lot that it just
Yeah.
yeah.
He got off on little like branches that weren't 100% related, but
Yeah.
it ended up like
Coming back.
being part of
And he did a great job of bringing it back to Staten Island. Like he started with Staten Island, that Staten Island thing. I thought
yeah.
Stanton Island, Mike Stanton.
Mike Stanton,
Mike
yeah.
Stanton must live there. Who's Mike Stanton?
Formerly Giancarlo Stanton.
I don't think it's formerly. I think it's currently.
Oh, to go back.
Giancarlo. He's Giancarlo Stanton.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Formerly Mike Stanton.
Formerly Mike, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I still call him Mike Stanton. I think it's weird that the dude changed his name to Giancarlo's.
after
So
after he was famous and good.
after he like 3 years into the league, he changed it to that.
Yeah. But that's his real name though, right? Like wasn't he going by Mike because it was
I
his
don't
middle
know.
name or
Is
his
that it? I have no
nickname or
idea.
something
I just
something?
thought everybody called him Mike. I mean, you come up and your name's Mike Stanton. I
Yeah.
figure most people probably call you Mike if you have your name as Mike. Giancarlos is a big difference.
Yeah. 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 All right. Well, do you want to do the 1, 2, 3 say our score at the same time?
Okay, we can do that.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
One. Can I guess your score?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, on 3, I'll guess your score and then I'll show you mine.
Am I gonna say mine at the same time
Yeah,
you're guessing
you
it?
say it at the same time.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. 3.3.
3.9.
Oh, I way undervalued you. I went 4.1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought we might be a little closer than you were thinking.
The way you were talking, I didn't think you were going to be anywhere near a 4.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, this was good, man.
You know what? I'll tell you this. And normally I don't like this in comedy specials, but toward the end, he showed that video, like
I was tearing up, bro.
That's exactly what happened to me too. And I was like, maybe this is a 4. Maybe this is a 4. But then he did, and you know what? I might have gone for if he ended it there.
If he
but
ended
then
it-
he did a couple more
See,
jokes.
I didn't want him to end there. I like if I'm on a comedy, if I'm watching a comedy special, I want to end on a
On a joke.
laugh.
Yes.
End on a
100%.
joke.
100%.
Because I even thought that I hit my phone because I wanted to see how much time was left.
Yeah.
Because I was like, don't end on this. Please
Because
don't end on this.
But it felt like
It
the
would have
right
been a
time
great
to
end.
end.
Sure.
But also, you're 100%
A
right.
story or a movie or something like that, but not a comedy special.
Yeah.
That's just my
Yep.
take on it. So I thought it was good that he didn't. But he 100%. I checked to see how much time was left because I was like, this is the end. This, especially the way he was sitting there and smiling. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
he's done.
Yeah.
But
I
then
definitely
pops
thought
back
that
up. Yeah. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
Great. 3.9 is killer.
Yeah.
It's a big score for you.
Yeah.
I mean, 4.1 is a big score for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Definitely better than I thought it was going to be. So well done. And only because I don't know the guy. I shouldn't say that I thought it was going to be. I had no expectations coming in.
Okay.
0 expectations.
He exceeded mine. So good job,
Yeah.
Andrew Schulz.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
It's called Life. It's on Netflix. Watch it.
Let's do it. All
Ne-
right.
Next week. All right. You did both last week. I got both this week. On Netflix also. Raging Fool. That is Felipe Esparza.
We talked about this last week.
Talked about it last week, and then he was on yesterday's episode of The Bonfire, which I listened to today,
Okay.
and he was really funny on there. So I'm like, okay, we gotta watch this.
I
special.
thought the first one was good. I didn't watch the Spanish version, but
yeah. I won't because I'll turn it off in like 30 seconds. I'm like, even with closed
I
captions,
sit down there and read. All I do is just read the whole time.
I don't want to have to read a joke. Yeah. Okay. And then Mount Rushmore. I wrote a couple of ideas down. They're both terrible.
Hey, I thought Unit of Measure was going to be bad.
Well, that's true. But it wasn't.
It was enjoyable.
Ah,
I enjoyed Unit of Measure.
It was good. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Now I just changed it. We're gonna do the Mount Rushmore because one of them I had as a name. Like we've done the Mount Rushmore of Chris's,
Sure.
Mount Rushmore of Adams. I think we've done the Mount Rushmore of a few people. So I had a name, and then I also had the Mount Rushmore of Chinese people. But we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do the Mount.
I would struggle with that.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like all the Korean, Chinese, Japanese comedians that we watch.
Mm-hmm.
Always like, I'm not Chinese or what, I'm Cantonese or I'm this. I would be terrible at just saying Chinese people
Well, yeah,
because I don't know
would
who's
have to-
Chinese and who's
Oh,
not.
yeah. I would have to look it up for sure. I don't know who is either. I mean, I know two right off the bat that would probably be on mine, which was Bruce Lee
Jackie Chan,
and Yao Ming.
Yao Ming. Is
Those-
Yao Ming Chinese?
He's Chinese.
You sure?
Yeah.
Is Bruce Lee Chinese?
Bruce Lee's Chinese.
I thought he was American.
Well, he might have had dual citizenship.
I'm just messing with you.
Okay. We're going the Mount Rushmore of Helens.
Yes, let's go. Let's go. Helen of Troy, Helen Keller,
Helen of Keller.
Helen of Keller. Oh god.
We're gonna do the Mount Rushmore of Helens.
There is 3 things she can't do, right? I know that I can't ever think of what the other one is. She can't see, she can't hear, and there's something else she can't do.
She can't speak.
Speak. That's what it is. I was trying to figure out if it's feel, touch, like smell, taste.
Well, she had
I said all-
when she had COVID, she couldn't smell.
I
taste.
legit, when I said all those were not jokes. I just could not remember the third thing. I couldn't remember. Speak. She couldn't speak.
She pretty much can't do anything.
But she could play the piano.
Yeah, I guess that's what she did.
That's Beethoven put his ear down. He felt the vibrations with his ear on
He
it.
put his
on
ear
the
on the
floor.
train tracks and listened to it going. Yep. Okay. All right. Felipe Esparza for the comedy and the Mount Rushmore of Helens. And if Helen Keller's not on yours, you are wrong.
There's no doubt. No doubt. Oh my gosh, that's good. All right. All right. Felipe and Mount Rushmore Helens. Till next week, don't forget to turn your headlights on. Stomach hurts.